In some of the most extreme environments on Earth, people live where survival seems almost impossible. These homes exist in places shaped by harsh climates, isolated geography, and constant natural challenges. From frozen lands and towering mountains to deserts and remote coastlines, daily life unfolds far beyond ordinary comfort. Each settlement reveals the resilience and adaptability of humans facing the planet's toughest conditions. In this video, we explore the most impossible homes where people actually live. Lake Titicaca sits at an altitude of about 12,500 feet, where the air has nearly 40% less oxygen compared to sea level. The Euros people adapted by building floating islands from layered totora reeds, adding fresh layers every 15 days to stay afloat. Each island spans roughly to 3,000 square feet, supporting about 10 reed-built houses, depending on family size. If the anchoring ropes snap, an entire island can drift miles across the lake, separating families or sending them dangerously off course. All transportation between islands uses animal-shaped reed boats, some modeled after birds, designed to resist the strong Andean winds. Though only around 1,200 Euros people remain, each island maintains a self-governed social unit with its own chief local rules and a bartering economy. The Mongolian steppe spans over 600,000 square miles, making it one of the largest and harshest surviving natural habitats on Earth. In winter, the dzud freezes grasslands solid, killing millions of livestock and wiping out entire family livelihoods in just weeks. With no forest for cover, winds can reach speeds over 60 miles per hour and sweep across the plains for several days non-stop. Nomads live on the move, migrating 4 to 10 times each year, with all of life packed into a gear assembled in under 1 hour. About 80% of the landscape is open grassland, with no obstructions, where the sky fills the horizon and wind is the only sound. This is one of the few places on Earth where humans still survive without electricity, roads, technology, or any form of permanent infrastructure. Mount Merapi is the most active volcano in Indonesia, erupting violently every 4 to 6 years, with little to no warning signs. People have died in their sleep from hot gas and ash flows rushing down at midnight without time to escape. Its summit rises over 9,500 feet, but the shape constantly shifts as magma pushes upward and cracks the rocky surface. This region has the highest sulfur levels in the country, forcing residents to wear masks, especially during dry, windy seasons. Villages near the base are built using compressed basalt and volcanic ash to resist heat, earthquakes, and sudden structural shocks. Some partially buried settlements are still being excavated, creating a surreal experience similar to a volcanic version of ancient Pompeii. Grindavik sits directly atop the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, where the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart. Each year, the land beneath the town expands by about 1 inch, causing sudden cracks that distort roads and buildings. The town lies less than 2 miles from the edge of an active volcano, placing it under Iceland's highest eruption risk zone. Lava fields here date from 800 to over 2,000 years ago, part of an independent volcanic system with periodic activity. Residents have lived and adapted here for centuries, despite needing to evacuate within hours when seismic alerts are triggered. The town is surrounded by black rock steam and geothermal ground, making it feel more like an alien world than Earth. Kuba is one of the harshest places where humans have managed to build a stable community for more than 100 years. In the face of unbearable heat, people retreated underground, reclaiming survival space from a surface that rejects life itself. Beneath over 100 million years of sedimentary rock lies not only rare opal but undeniable proof of human endurance and adaptability. Nearly 80% of residents live in underground dugouts to escape violent dust storms and constant exposure to a deadly climate. The surface can collapse without warning. Sinkholes as deep as 20 feet have opened right in the heart of the town. When you arrive here, you walk through crimson dust and more than 250,000 open pits, as if crossing a battlefield scorched by the sun. Castel Follet de la Roca sits on a basalt cliff about 160 feet high, formed by two volcanic eruptions separated by thousands of years. This sharp rock wall was carved by rivers that eroded the softer layers, leaving behind a jagged basalt edge. From the base of the cliff, the houses appear glued to the vertical wall, with balconies hanging out unsupported on centuries-old stone. The town's main road runs just a few feet from the drop, with no railings making visitors feel like they're walking on air. The living edge is up to 12 inches from the cliff, stretching over 900 feet, with no safety barrier at all. Despite the high-risk terrain, residents have maintained stable daily life through long-term adaptation to this extreme environment. Longyearbyen is the northernmost permanent settlement on Earth, where the sun stays below the horizon for more than 120 days each year. Permafrost, hundreds of feet thick, covers the ground, preventing deep foundations and making plant roots impossible to grow. Bare mountains, icy seas, and colorless snowfields form a vast, empty landscape that feels like living on a lifeless planet. Frozen ground here preserves ancient climate records, turning Longyearbyen into one of Earth's most valuable natural climate archives. As warming accelerates, melting ice causes slow shifts beneath buildings, silently warping foundations and roads over time. In 2017, meltwater breached the global seed vault built here, triggering worldwide concern about survival limits in the far north. Tikal proves that humans once built a powerful civilization right inside an unforgiving jungle with no paths or signs of control. They survived the heat-wild creatures and constant threats that turned daily life into a battle between existence and extinction. Without wheels or animals, Maya workers cut stone on site, building their city block by block with human effort and ancient knowledge. Their pyramids pierce the treetops not only for worship, but as a proud statement against both nature and the gods. Tikal was completely overtaken by the jungle, with trees growing over the stone structures, lost until modern exploration technology rediscovered it. When you visit, you will climb mossy stone stairs, touch wet jungle walls, and hear monkeys calling through the misty forest. Iquitos sits deep inside the Amazon, more than 600 miles from the nearest big city, with no road connecting it anywhere. Three massive rivers around the city rise over 20 feet during rainy seasons, causing floods that return every single year. Many homes are built on stilts or floating wood platforms because the muddy ground can collapse or dissolve after heavy rain. River water often becomes infected by animal remains and waste, triggering diarrhea outbreaks and gut infections every wet season. The Amazon ecosystem surrounding Iquitos holds over 3 million species, including many that are toxic, aggressive, or deadly to humans. Iquitos is the largest city on Earth without roads, a living symbol of urban survival, surrounded by untamed, unforgiving nature. Sumela Monastery is a stunning structure built on a steep cliff, nearly 4,000 feet high, overlooking deep canyons and cold forests. It was founded in the 4th century and has survived many empires, staying sacred despite the harsh natural surroundings. Its walls and staircases are carved straight into fractured sedimentary rock that is always at risk of collapse. To reach the site, visitors must hike over 1 mile up a mountain slope that tilts up to 40 degrees with narrow, slippery ledges. In 2001, a landslide broke part of the roof, proving how fragile this hidden mountain monastery really is. Still, it stands as a breathtaking symbol of faith, survival, and human connection to the rocky wilderness. Shibam is located in Yemen and is globally known for having the first high-rise mud brick city in the world. Its buildings stand between 5 to 11 stories tall, made entirely of compressed mud bricks and packed closely like defensive towers. The old town contains over 500 tall houses, forming a dense urban block right in the middle of the dry desert. Shibam was designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1982 due to its vertical architectural layout and urban design. The desert foundation here often floods during the rainy season, pushing locals to build upward to avoid water damage. Ground floors are mostly used as storage or animal stables, while upper levels house multi-generational families. Monemvasia is an ancient Greek stone fortress built on a rocky island offshore, famous for a city carved directly into steep cliff faces. The rock separated from the mainland after a major earthquake in 375 AD, turning it into a natural stronghold. The entire island stretches about 1 mile, with steep terrain, forcing buildings to tightly follow the rock slope. Crystallized limestone geology provides strong structural stability, allowing walls and buildings to resist erosion for centuries. Natural cliff barriers shield the settlement from direct exposure to strong sea winds. A single controlled entrance made Monemvasia a rare example of a fully enclosed defensive urban design. Coosbapedy is a small town in the middle of the South Australian desert, known for its people living underground in homes called dugouts. It sits in one of the driest deserts in Australia, where the average yearly rainfall is only about 6 inches. The ground is made mostly of sandstone, which is easy to dig and naturally keeps the heat out, perfect for underground living. The first dugouts were built in the year 1916 by opal miners who needed to escape the burning desert heat. Today, more than half of the people live underground in places like homes, hotels, churches, and even bars that need no air conditioning. When you visit, you can sleep in an underground hotel, eat in a cave restaurant, and watch movies inside a rock-carved cinema. The Great Sandy Desert is one of the most untouched deserts in Australia, so large that some areas have never seen human tracks. Layers of soil beneath the sand dunes contain salt, built up over millions of years, creating dead land where nothing grows. Some indigenous groups, like the Martu and Pintupi, still live a semi-nomadic life, adapting to the heat and water scarcity. Their traditional shelters are made from branches and bark, naturally cooling and easy to take apart when they need to move. One of the oldest survival methods is digging dew pits at night, collecting 2 to 3 gallons of water each week. Some parts of this desert remain completely untouched by humans, surrounded by soft sand and no water for hundreds of miles. Rub al Khali, also called the Empty Quarter, is one of the harshest and most extreme places on Earth, mostly located in Saudi Arabia. This is not a rocky desert or semi-arid land. It is a pure ocean of sand, stretching to the horizon, with almost no surface life. Some Bedouin tribes still live here temporarily, using tents woven from black goat hair to reflect sunlight and keep cool. They navigate only by stars and wind, with no maps or compasses, relying on ancient knowledge passed down for thousands of years. Rub al Khali was once a major route in the ancient frankincense trade, mentioned in the Quran and Roman Greek texts as the Desert of Death. Today, very few adventure tours are allowed deep inside, and each visitor must carry at least 5 gallons of water per day. Namib Desert, Namibia, is the oldest desert in the world, formed more than 55 million years ago, and continuing to exist without interruption until today. Each year, it receives only about 0.2 inches of rain, yet cold ocean fog has supported life here for millions of years. Some indigenous Topna and Nama communities have lived in this extreme dry environment for more than 1,000 years. To survive, local people build homes from mud-dried animal waste and coastal wood, staying warm at night and cool during the day. They copy the fog-basking beetle to create upright mesh fog traps that collect water directly from the air. Visitors must wear heat-reflective clothing and carry at least 1 gallon of water per day to avoid dangerous heat shock. Kyaukhaland is located in northwestern Namibia, almost completely cut off from the modern world, where nature still holds full control. This region is known for terrain so extreme that humans can barely tame it, yet life has endured here for thousands of years. Kyaukhaland stretches across ancient rocks and dry riverbeds, with some areas not seeing rain for more than 3 straight years. The Himba people have survived for generations by using red clay to block the sun and building homes from mud and animal waste. In this scorching climate, they smoke their bodies instead of bathing and filter water using basic charcoal methods. If you visit, remember that not everyone allows filming. Some communities ban recording rituals and may expel violators from the region. Gobi Desert is one of the most unique and unusual deserts on Earth, stretching across both Mongolia and China. Most of Gobi is not made of sand. Its landscape is covered with bare rock-gravel plains, dry plateaus, and lifeless grasslands. The soil here absorbs water very poorly, so even rare rainfall quickly disappears, creating a constant cycle of drought. Mongolian people live in yurts, a type of felt tent that can be set up in under 1 hour to adapt to nomadic life. Children learn to ride horses as early as 3 years old because families often travel across difficult and rocky terrain. In some areas, people use dried cow dung for heating, since wood is almost completely unavailable in this desert region. Matmata cave homes in Tunisia are famous for their underground design, where people live in large circular pits carved deep into the desert ground. Guests can stay overnight in these ancient cave houses and experience daily life completely sheltered from the desert's sun. Located in a semi-desert climate zone, the region sees temperature swings of up to 54 degrees Fahrenheit between day and night. These homes are built entirely by hand, without using bricks or wood, relying on old techniques of manual digging and earth shaping. There are no rooftops, no street views, and no surface buildings. Everything is hidden underground, like a naturally buried town. The name Matmata comes from an ancient Berber tribe who pioneered this underground lifestyle to adapt to extreme desert conditions. Montserrat Monastery is built high on Montserrat Mountain, known for its unreal location and strange rock formations carved by nature over time. You must ride a cable car, hike steep paths, or take a cogwheel train, since no direct car route reaches the monastery. The mountain is sharply fractured into jagged peaks, vertical cliffs, and deep cuts, creating a rare landscape in European mountain systems. Every building section is attached directly to rock walls, merging architecture with uneven terrain instead of following flat surfaces. NASA once studied Montserrat's rocky surface to simulate Martian landforms due to its unique geological structure. The site represents a deep connection between faith architecture and geology, showing how humans adapt and live in harmony with natural extremes. Hamed Ella is a desert stop in the Danakil region of Ethiopia, where expedition groups rest before continuing toward other natural sites in the area. There are no hotels or guest houses, so you sleep outdoors on wooden beds in total darkness without any electric lights. With less than 200 millimeters of rainfall each year, the area is considered one of the driest places on the planet. Locals still cut salt by hand and transport it using camels, following a method that has lasted for centuries. The ground is rough and bare with no tall vegetation, making the surface feel completely different from most places on Earth. In 2017, the documentary One Strange Rock filmed here to represent an alien planet without needing digital effects. Haid al-Jazil is a remote village in Yemen, built entirely on top of a large rock outcrop, separated from the surrounding ground. The rock rises about 160 feet, so visitors must hike a steep and slippery path, especially difficult with heavy backpacks. Rain is extremely rare here, and people rely on old rainwater cisterns to meet their year-round daily needs. The houses are 3 to 5 stories tall and built tightly together to save space on the small rocky plateau. The dry, bare landscape highlights the tall mud buildings packed closely like one solid block rising from the stone. There is no paved road to the village, so reaching it requires walking for about an hour through quiet, rugged terrain. Mount Fanjing rises nearly 7,700 feet, standing isolated above dense clouds where people still live and practice daily devotion. The mountain sits along 2 ancient tectonic plates, causing sudden wind shifts, heavy fog, and unstable weather conditions. Monks living on the summit endure cold temperatures, constant moisture, mild oxygen loss, and complete isolation from modern transportation. Formed over 500 million years ago, the peak is reached only by climbing 8,888 steep stone steps. Food, water, and supplies are carried by hand across slippery paths, despite strong winds and limited visibility. Once each month, sunlight breaks through the clouds, creating a spiritual halo that marks human survival within extreme natural limits. Yanjin is a city squeezed between 2 towering cliffs, where the narrowest parts are just wide enough for a few packed buildings. The entire city stretches along the Yangtze River, winding through a canyon that shapes a long corridor of human survival. Despite the lack of horizontal space, more than 400,000 people have settled here, clinging to land between rock and water. Homes are stacked tightly against vertical mountain walls, forcing daily life to follow steep slopes and constant geological risk. During rainy season, flash floods often sweep through because the V-shaped canyon traps water with no escape path. In the year 2020, river levels rose within 10 minutes, destroying over 40 homes and collapsing slopes. This risk will return unless major infrastructure is built. Abuna Yamata-gu is a monolithic church carved directly into vertical sandstone cliffs in the remote mountains of Ethiopia. It sits at an elevation of about 8,500 feet, where thin air and strong winds can easily break your balance. The climb to reach it is a deadly journey, with sections that can only be passed by bare hands gripping narrow stone edges. Despite the danger, this church is still active and welcomes daily worshippers who come to pray at the edge of the void. Having survived over 1,500 years of war and erosion, Abuna Yamata-gu stands as a living symbol of faith beyond limits. Lindisfarne, or Holy Island, is a partially isolated island located off the northeast coast of England, where the tides shift every day. The population of the island is only about 180 people, but they maintain stable daily life due to their routine linked to the tidal cycle. In 634, it became the center of Christianity, with the famous Lindisfarne Monastery, once a symbol of European culture and art during the medieval period. The road connecting the island to the mainland is about 2 miles long, but it completely disappears underwater during high tide, making the island a true fortress. The island's architecture is unique, with upturned ships being repurposed as roof coverings, creating an image that's unlike anywhere else. The surrounding sea is shallow, but has tides rising up to 3 feet in just 15 minutes, creating extremely dangerous risks for anyone who isn't careful. Kawah Ijen rises above 9,000 feet, an active volcano with a toxic turquoise acid lake sitting directly inside its wide crater. At night, blue fire erupts as sulfur gas burns above 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit, glowing like something from another planet. Beneath the white fog lies dense sulfur gas, once causing hikers to get lost just feet away due to visibility under 3 feet. In 2013, a gas outburst caused the acid lake to overflow, sending corrosive liquid down the slope like molten acid. Here, miners walk over 2 hours in darkness, then carry 150 to 200 pounds of sulfur by hand in cloth sacks. Despite the deadly conditions, acid-resistant microbes survive here, helping scientists simulate what life might look like beyond Earth. Churchill is a subarctic port town in Canada known as the polar bear capital of the world because thousands of bears migrate through it each year. On average, the Northern Lights appear more than 300 nights a year, making it a top destination for aurora watching. Winter lasts nearly 8 months, with strong winds and deep snow making outdoor movement extremely difficult. During the cold season, only the train operates since flights and shipping routes are often affected by the weather. No tall trees survive in this climate, leaving a wide open landscape with almost no natural shade. There is a unique rule here. Locking your door is banned during polar bear season, so people can escape quickly in emergencies. Pitcairn Island is the only inhabited volcanic island in the South Pacific, home to just a few dozen residents. In 1790, a group of sailors who had rebelled settled here, and their descendants still live on the island today. With no airport or proper port, you must travel over 30 hours by small boat through rough seas to reach the island. Without coral reefs to protect the coast, powerful waves hit the rocky shore and cause heavy erosion in many areas. The island's paths are steep houses, cling to slopes, and visitors often have to hike uphill from one spot to another. Every 3 months, a single supply ship brings food, fuel, and mail for everyone living on the island. Schafberg Mountain Hotel, officially named Hotel Schafberg Spitze, is famous for its rare location right at the summit of a mountain. The hotel sits at about 5,900 feet above sea level and can only be reached by a cogwheel train or a long uphill hike. On clear days, the area offers an unobstructed view stretching over 25 miles, revealing the full range of the Northern Alps. Some scenes from the movie The Sound of Music, filmed in 1965, were shot here to capture wide panoramic views of the Alps. The entire hotel is built from wood in traditional Alpine style, without concrete, to preserve its original architectural character. From the terrace, you can stand near the cliff edge and sense a dramatic vertical drop of nearly 6,500 feet below. Setenil de las Bodegas is a southern Spanish town known for its buildings constructed directly into natural rock cliffs. Residents did not remove the stone, but used it as roofs and walls, making the rock part of their living spaces. You can walk through streets just over 3 feet wide, where the stone ceiling and walls press in closely. Since the town sits in a narrow canyon, houses rise vertically in layers without room to grow sideways. In 2019, Architectural Digest named it one of the most unique towns in Europe for its original cliffside design. Setenil is seen as a rare example of sustainable living, where the entire community adapts fully to the surrounding rock terrain. Ilulissat is a coastal town in Greenland that is world-famous for its massive natural iceberg formations throughout the year. You can take a boat ride among icebergs as tall as 100 feet, an experience available in only a few places on Earth. The scenery changes every few hours because the large ice blocks rotate, crack, or collapse, making it feel like watching a real-time movie. In 2004, Ilulissa was named a UNESCO Natural World Heritage Site due to its global climate and geological value. Snow covers the land year-round, and the bare rocky mountains with no trees make the town look like a primitive place, untouched by urban life. In 2012, the film Chasing Ice captured an iceberg collapse here, one of the largest natural events ever recorded live. Rocinha favela is the largest slum in Brazil and ranks among the most densely populated, informal settlements in South America, reflecting urban expansion beyond effective state control. It is one of the few self-formed communities included in controlled tour programs demonstrating global curiosity toward unplanned urban living systems. The steep hillside terrain forces Rocinha to grow vertically, completely reshaping how urban space is distributed compared to conventional city planning. The settlement emerged in the mid-20th century through waves of labor migration, revealing how rapid urbanization exceeded government management capacity. From a distance, Rocinha appears as a massive concrete block covering the hillside, creating an extremely compressed urban landscape rarely seen worldwide. Rocinha appeared in the film Elite Squad, released in 2007, and Fast 5, released in 2011, reinforcing its image in global portrayals of urban life. Spiti Valley villages are ancient high mountain settlements in the Himalayas, known for extreme living conditions and deep isolation from the outside world. Visiting this place means adapting to survive because the natural environment was never made for large groups of modern travelers. The rocky terrain and deep valleys make this area valuable for studying erosion and long-term geological evolution in mountain landscapes. Local homes are built from earth, stone, and wood to keep warmth inside and protect against strong, cold winds year-round. Village clusters appear scattered across open land, making people feel incredibly small compared to the wide scale of nature. The quiet and isolation here give the feeling of being in one of the most disconnected places in the modern world. Vardzia Cave City in Georgia is an ancient rock-cut city carved directly into a cliff, known for its rare vertical structure. You must climb hundreds of steep and slippery stone steps to reach Vardzia, an experience like entering a vertical stone city. The entire complex was excavated from solid basalt rock, keeping the interior cool in summer and warm during harsh winters. Many of its walls have remained intact for over 800 years, showing remarkable durability and advanced construction techniques. From a distance, Vardzia looks like a massive rock wall, hollowed out with hundreds of evenly layered geometric openings. In 1999, Vardzia was nominated for UNESCO World Heritage status for its historical engineering and geological significance. Tonle sap-floating villages are built on Southeast Asia's largest freshwater lake, where people live in houses that float or rise with the water. Visitors often spend hours on boats, moving through the village without seeing any land, a rare experience unlike anywhere else. Locals do not build on solid ground, but live in floating or stilt houses that move or rise as the lake expands. The lake's area can grow 4 times larger during the rainy season, turning the surroundings into an inland sea. From a distance, the floating villages look like small islands drifting on endless water with no visible border to land. In 2019, UN Habitat used Tonle Sap as a model in global research on flexible cities for climate change adaptation. Shirakawa-go in Japan is world famous for its triangle-shaped thatched houses designed to withstand heavy snowfall during winter seasons. These houses are built entirely by hand without using nails, showcasing traditional Japanese joinery passed down for generations. It is one of the rare historic villages where visitors can stay overnight in centuries-old homes during peak snow season. The village sits in a valley surrounded by mountains and forests, helping snow remain longer and keeping winter temperatures stable. The steep, angled roofs are not for decoration, but to let snow slide off quickly and avoid roof collapse under weight. In 1995, UNESCO recognized Shirakawa-go as a World Heritage Site for preserving authentic architecture and traditional ways of mountain living. Yangwu karst villages are ancient settlements built deep within dense limestone mountains, known for adapting directly to rugged karst terrain. Some village paths are so narrow only one person can walk at a time, with no guardrails and a wild, untouched feel. Sharp vertical limestone peaks surrounding the area are visible signs of intense upward weathering and natural erosion over time. Homes are made using local stone, earth, and wood, forming rough structures that visually blend into the mountain itself. The entire landscape looks like a forest of stone, filled with pointed peaks and valleys wrapped in mist and dense vegetation. Because of blocked sight lines from steep cliffs, villagers living just hundreds of feet apart cannot see each other's homes directly. Tanna is located in southern Vanuatu and is globally known for villages that exist right next to an active erupting volcano. Mount Yasur has been continuously erupting for more than 800 years, sending out ash and gas every few minutes. The island sits directly on the boundary between two major tectonic plates, making it highly prone to volcanic activity. Sulfur gases and steam escape from the volcano, constantly creating a naturally acidic environment near the crater. The crater spans around 1,000 feet across and often glows due to underground lava flows. Each eruption adds new minerals to the soil, helping vegetation regenerate and grow rapidly in the area. Escher Cliff Restaurant is located in Switzerland and is remarkable for being built directly against a vertical cliff about 400 feet tall within a rugged, mountainous landscape. The rock behind the structure is ancient limestone, formed over 100 million years ago from compressed marine sediments beneath an old ocean. As tectonic plates collided, the entire layer was uplifted, creating a nearly vertical stone wall, a rare geological formation worldwide. The current wooden structure was built in 1860, originally serving religious use before becoming a rest stop for mountain climbers. The surrounding terrain resembles a lunar surface featuring gray rock volcanic dust and tectonic cracks scattered across the area. Henningsvær is located near the Arctic Circle and is known for its summer phenomenon of the sun never setting for more than 60 days straight. The rocky islands beneath the village are made of ancient gneiss, estimated to be over 3 billion years old. The surrounding seawater can reach up to 30 feet of clarity on dry days, revealing the seabed structure. The village has thrived since the 18th century, deeply rooted in winter cod fishing as its main economic activity. Wooden shoreline warehouses were historically used to store dried cod, which was exported to more than 30 countries. The region often experiences strong winds and rainfall due to cold air currents flowing directly from the North Atlantic. Meteora is located in central Greece and is known for its monasteries built on sandstone pillars rising hundreds of feet, creating a rare architectural complex. These rock columns formed about 60 million years ago when an ancient lake bed was uplifted and softened layers were gradually eroded. The sandstone preserves sediment patterns that allow scientists to trace ancient water flow and long-term tectonic activity. Monks arrived in the 11th century using the isolated terrain for spiritual retreat and building stone and timber structures with traditional locking methods. Before the 20th century, access required climbing ropes or using simple pulley systems to transport people and materials. The entire landscape forms a unique floating pillar system that reflects human adaptation to extreme natural formations. Huacachina lies in this dry desert region of Peru and is widely known as a rare natural oasis that keeps a stable lake throughout the year in a harsh, sandy environment. The lake is fed by groundwater pushed through sediment layers several feet thick, creating a durable water source that allows the oasis to persist as an isolated natural system. Its water contains calcium carbonate and magnesium, once used for traditional healing practices, showing the link between mineral properties and early human needs. The surrounding sand dunes rise nearly 300 feet and constantly shift in shape under strong winds, forming a dynamic landscape that changes across different periods. The lake sits inside a natural sand basin, where palm growth depends on continuous water, making the area a clear model for studying isolated aquatic ecosystems in dry regions. Its water level once fell due to overuse, but is now maintained through pumping systems, reflecting efforts to preserve the oasis as a distinctive geomorphological feature. Parotaktsang sits on a cliff about 3,000 feet high in Bhutan and is globally known as one of the most precariously positioned monasteries in the Himalayas. The granite base supporting the site provides the strength needed for wooden structures to be fixed directly into natural rock fissures shaped over millions of years. The monastery was built in 1692 to mark the meditation site of Guru Padmasambhava, an important figure in the spread of Buddhism in Bhutan. Several interior sections extend deep into the mountain, reflecting the spatial layout of older meditation caves that predate the monastery. For the people of Bhutan, Paro Taktsang serves as a sacred symbol, linking religious heritage with the natural isolation of the cliff landscape. Iruya lies in Argentina's Andes and is known for sitting at an elevation of around 9,100 feet, with homes built directly against the mountainside. The landform comes from sedimentary layers over 60 million years old that were lifted by tectonic activity and shaped into steep, narrow valleys. Houses use local stone with thick walls to withstand strong mountain winds and adapt to the harsh, high-altitude climate. More than 5 centuries of continuous settlement show how the community maintains a stable terraced lifestyle despite limited flat ground. Access to Iruya depends on a single route that includes slopes above 30 degrees, making the area almost isolated. The entire village forms a unified terraced structure, demonstrating how people coexist with the demanding terrain of the Andes. In the Faroe Islands, known for a waterfall dropping straight from grassland into the ocean. The surrounding mountain mass is made of volcanic basalt, over 50 million years old, giving the area strong resistance to erosion. The village was reachable only through slopes rising nearly 2,000 feet, shaping a long history of isolated living. Steep ridges form a closed arc around the settlement, dividing the highland fields from the ocean surface below. Its residents maintained small-scale farming traditions, creating a stable social structure despite a population of only a few dozen. The Fossa waterfall became a global emblem because it links plateau, cliff, and ocean in a single continuous landscape. Santorini caldera villages are located right on the rim of a massive volcanic crater in the Aegean Sea and are remarkable for being built along sheer cliffs. This is one of the few inhabited places on Earth situated directly on the collapse ring of a Holocene caldera. An eruption about 3,600 years ago emptied the magma chamber and caused the ground to collapse, forming a crater stretching dozens of miles. Exposed layers of ash pumice and lava along the walls document multiple phases of volcanic activity over millennia. Traditional houses are partially carved into pumice, taking advantage of its excellent insulation and lightweight volcanic structure. Some sections of the cliff stand nearly vertical at 90 degrees, indicating that pumice erodes more slowly than typical sedimentary rocks. Rebo sits in the high mountains of Indonesia and is recognized for preserving a traditional cone-shaped housing system maintained across generations. Its wooden frames and layered leaf roofs follow natural aerodynamic principles, allowing each structure to remain stable in strong winds common above 3,900 feet. Local clans maintain extended family structures, reflecting a social model that has changed very little within this isolated environment. The settlement is surrounded by humid cloud forest, where persistent mist supports dense vegetation around the living area. A thick and porous soil layer helps rainwater absorb, quickly reducing erosion during periods of heavy rainfall. Field studies show that the circular layout of traditional houses aligns with a natural basin, creating balanced and sustainable living space organization. Located on an isolated volcanic rock above a valley, Civita di Bagnoregio is known as a historic village gradually shrinking due to long-term erosion. The porous, tough base allows rainwater to seep in and weaken the ground, causing the terrain to deteriorate over decades. Several cliff edges have collapsed by dozens of feet, showing a persistent loss of land across generations. Steep surrounding walls form natural boundaries that separate the settlement from the lower valley below. Its population declined sharply in the 19th century as families left because of ongoing land instability. Civita became symbolic for blending medieval architecture with a fragile geological foundation, revealing the link between human settlement and shifting terrain. Ani lies on an eastern plateau of Turkey and is recognized as a medieval center, once hosting over 1,000 religious structures. The ancient city was built on volcanic basalt, allowing its stone architecture to survive for centuries despite repeated earthquakes. At its height, Ani held an estimated population between 40,000 and 100,000, showing the region's former economic influence. Thick fortification walls and natural defensive terrain once made Ani appear nearly impossible to conquer. Surviving buildings reveal Armenian stonecraft, blended with Byzantine and Persian techniques, forming a distinct architectural identity. The remaining ruins stand as a clear record of the rise, peak, and decline of an ancient civilization. Mesa Verde, cliff dwellings, sits on a high plateau in the southwest United States and is recognized for ancient homes built directly inside natural sandstone alcoves. The alcoves formed as sandstone layers, separated over time, creating stable spaces that supported settlements more than 7 centuries old. Several structures contain about 150 rooms and 20 kivas, showing a large community with organized ritual spaces. More than 95% of the site still preserves original materials, making it one of the best conserved cliff dwellings in the region. Some access points are only 2 to 3 feet wide, turning the visit into clear evidence of how earlier cultures adapted to extreme terrain. Located on a granite cliff in northern China, Guyaju is recognized as the largest known cluster of man-made cave dwellings. Over 110 rooms were entirely carved into hard rock without using bricks or mortar. The layered layout and compartment design suggest long-term residence rather than temporary shelter. Stone benches, wall niches, and ventilation holes were intentionally crafted, indicating social structure and thoughtful planning. Several entrances face open space, directly enabling strategic views and protecting the site from intrusion. No historical records identify the builders, leaving the entire complex one of China's enduring archaeological mysteries. Derinkuyu lies deep within central Turkey and is remarkable for being an underground city reaching nearly 280 feet in depth and used across many centuries. The entire complex was carved into volcanic tuff, allowing rooms and passages to stay naturally stable even far below the surface. Research shows that its roughly 50 ventilation shafts work through pressure differences between levels, keeping living areas consistently supplied with air. Stacked floors are arranged in a network system that spreads structural load and reduces collapse risks during downward expansion. Heavy stone doors weighing several hundred pounds illustrate how ancient residents combined architecture and defense within one unified design. The presence of both worship spaces and storage rooms indicates that Derinkuyu functioned as a self-contained community fully adapted to underground life. Pripyat is located in northern Ukraine and became known as a completely abandoned city after the 1986 nuclear accident that forced over 49,000 residents to leave forever. Pripyat was founded in 1970 to support the nuclear energy program, reflecting the architectural patterns of a planned industrial city of the Soviet era. The young alluvial geology of the region makes radioactive dispersion difficult to predict, turning the area into a long-term subject for global scientific studies. Its present landscape blends deteriorated concrete structures with expanding vegetation, forming a rare urban environment reclaimed by surrounding nature. Many unfinished buildings from the evacuation moment remain intact, offering a time snapshot that helps researchers evaluate long-term material durability. Today, Pripyat serves as a worldwide reminder of technological risk and functions as a key field site for assessing the lasting impacts of radiation. Gamsutl sits on a high mountain range in Russia and is notable as a fully abandoned ancient village located at nearly 4,900 feet above sea level. The settlement is believed to have formed around 2,000 years ago, growing from a small habitation into a community anchored to the mountainside. Its stone houses of 2 to 4 stories reveal construction techniques relying on strong local materials fitted tightly without modern binders. The sloped terrain exposes layers of ancient sedimentary rock, showing the long erosion history of the surrounding mountain system. Ruins distributed along the ridge create a stepped architectural pattern that blends directly with the natural contours. Modern studies view Gamsutl as a real-world model of how an isolated highland community emerges, grows, and eventually declines. Kolmanskop lies in the desert region of western Namibia and is known for rising quickly through diamond wealth before being abandoned within a few decades. The silica sand base shifts every year, causing buildings to erode and slowly sink beneath layers of moving dunes. Founded in 1908, the town once held a hospital, a theater, and a school, showing surprising social development in a harsh setting. The landscape features tilted structures shaped by prevailing winds, revealing the speed of desertification and the deformation of weakened foundations. At its peak, the settlement produced more than 10% of the world's diamonds before reserves declined sharply. Some pathways are buried under dunes nearly 3 feet high, turning Kolmanskop into a clear example of how nature overtakes abandoned human environments. Pompeii is located in southern Italy, near the base of Mount Vesuvius, and was once a thriving urban center of the Roman Empire. Mount Vesuvius is only about 5 miles away, close enough for ash and hot rocks to fall at 60 miles per hour. After the deadly eruption in the year 79, the entire city was buried within hours under ash layers up to 23 feet thick. Ancient Roman homes were made of volcanic stone with thick walls to block heat, but they could not withstand the extreme heat wave. The city once had 3-story houses underground, sewage and lead water pipes, showing how advanced its design truly was. Mount Vesuvius is still active today and ranked as the most dangerous volcano to live near in all of Europe by experts. Atacama Desert is located in northern Chile and is often considered the driest desert in the world, with some areas not recording any rainfall for hundreds of years. Its surface is covered with nitrate and chlorate salts, which are toxic to plants, making most forms of life unable to survive. According to research, some regions have near-zero bacterial presence in the soil, similar to the surface of Mars. Here, the Atacameños people have lived in the desert for over 10,000 years, building ancient channels to bring melted snow water. Many modern communities build homes from clay bricks or salt walls to help insulate against extreme heat and cold. In the 20th century, locals were once poisoned by natural arsenic in groundwater that contained dangerously high levels. The Himalayan foothills sit on the collision zone between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates, still rising by nearly 1/4 inch every year. This is a young and active landscape where more than 1,000 small earthquakes are recorded yearly by the U.S. Geological Survey. To adapt, locals build their homes using dry stone and rough timber stacked without cement to resist landslides. Elevation here shifts fast. Within 10 miles, the land can rise from 400 to 6,000 feet. Over 80% of the villages have no paved roads and rely on footpaths or cable pulleys to move supplies. Seasonal migration, called transhumance, still continues, with families walking for many days to cross the mountains each year. The Altai Mountains in Kazakhstan sit on the collision point of 4 giant tectonic plates, causing earthquakes as strong as magnitude 7. Some areas in Altai rest on permafrost, where the frozen ground suddenly shifts during summer, cracking open underfoot. Kazakh nomads build yurt homes using heat-resistant wood frames and goat hides, all held together without a single nail. Altai women still spin yarn from mountain goat wool, weaving thick fabric that blocks the cutting wind. To reach the highest settlements, you must ride a horse or hike for more than 2 full days across snowy passes and thick pine forests. Socotra Archipelago, Yemen, sits between the Arabian and Somali tectonic plates, facing frequent earthquakes and strong seasonal monsoon winds. Over 70% of the main island is covered in limestone basalt and sandstone terrain, making farming and survival extremely difficult. People here live in houses made of dry stone blocks and palm leaf roofs with no brick cement or modern facilities. Traditionally, homes are built on high plateaus instead of low coastal areas to avoid storms and rising seawater. Without modern roads, locals travel mainly by walking for hours across sharp rocks or riding camels through steep paths. Water systems rely on collecting night mist, using cloth and tree branches, since there are no rivers or natural springs. The Kalahari is a massive, semi-arid desert, stretching about 350,000 square miles, covering most of Botswana, eastern Namibia, and northern South Africa. Its sand has a striking red color caused by iron oxide, which can raise surface temperatures up to 130 degrees Fahrenheit under direct sunlight. The Bushmen are an indigenous people who have survived here for more than 20,000 years, mainly through hunting and gathering skills. They use poisonous plant sap to coat arrows, allowing them to take down animals from afar and avoid dangerous close contact. To store water, they fill ostrich eggshells and bury them underground, keeping supplies safe for many days in dry seasons. Their ancient belief system is tied to the sun rain, and animals with long ritual dances performed to call for rain. The Amazon basin is the largest river basin in the world, covering most of Brazil and serving as the heart of the global tropical ecosystem. During the rainy season, thousands of square miles of forest become completely flooded for several months, creating a strange underwater forest system. In flood season, water levels can rise over 30 feet, forcing people to live on floating houses or stilt homes built as high as tree canopies. Indigenous people use tree sap fruit shells and insects to build preserve and even make medicine from the very materials they live among. Locals learn to navigate by smell, bird calls, flowing water, and animal signs, since compasses are totally useless in this environment. When the forest is flooded, boats become the only way to travel. There are no roads and no vehicles can get in. Pitcairn Islands is a volcanic archipelago with 4 main islands in the South Pacific, but only Pitcairn Island is inhabited. The entire community descends from the mutineers of the HMS Bounty, who fled punishment and settled here in the year 1789. According to official records, the population in 2024 was just 47, and at one point dropped to only 38. Locals build their homes using recycled wood tin roofs and hand-mixed cement. None of the buildings rise above 2 stories. Daily life depends entirely on rainwater homegrown food and supply ships that take nearly 2 weeks and arrive every 3 months. There is no hospital, just a single clinic with a nurse and pharmacist, and emergencies require rescue from New Zealand over several days. Thar Desert stretches across India and Pakistan, and it is the most densely populated hot desert in the world, with over 83 people per square mile. Homes are built using mud grass, cow dung, and stove ash to keep cool in summer and naturally resist heat and germs. Sand dunes constantly shift, moving more than 65 feet each year and threatening to swallow villages and roads. Children here must learn to read tracks in the sand, to spot venomous snakes, scorpions, and dangers hidden beneath the surface. Drinking water is sometimes stored in porous limestone, which keeps it cool by natural evaporation without using electricity. Camel tours often last from 3 to 5 days across dry zones with no water, led by people who were born in the desert. Yukon Territory stretches across more than 186,000 square miles, but only about 40,000 people live here, making it one of the least populated places in North America. Beneath the ground is permanent frozen soil, so every house must be built on stilts to avoid sinking during the summer thaw. Winter lasts more than half the year, and daylight can shrink to just 3 hours a day, causing seasonal mood problems. Dog sled teams are still used in many areas during winter, carrying over 500 pounds of supplies through frozen forests. Now, Northern Light tours ask you to sit outside for at least 3 hours straight in the freezing dark to avoid light pollution. West Fjords is one of the wildest and most extreme regions of Iceland, and also the least touched by human development in the entire country. It sits on a basalt foundation formed more than 16 million years ago, making it the oldest geological land in Iceland. Located near the Arctic Circle, West Fjords experiences 24 hours of darkness in winter and 24 hours of daylight in summer, disrupting body clocks. Many villages are fully isolated for 6 months each winter, so people must store food and medicine since the fall. In the 20th century, the Icelandic government had to help relocate residents because of rising suicide rates during long winters. Even though they live next to the sea, locals cannot grow crops due to poor soil and a growing season shorter than 60 days per year. Taos Pueblo is one of the oldest and most sacred places in the United States, located in the northern region of New Mexico. This area belongs to a semi-arid ecosystem, with average rainfall of only 12 inches per year, making farming depend entirely on spring water. The adobe houses rise up to 5 stories tall, built from clay, mixed with straw without cement or modern utilities for centuries. By tradition, homes have no chimneys. Smoke escapes through a roof opening, helping to keep the warmth while allowing ventilation. Residents use removable ladders to access the second floor, pulling them up at night as a defense method rooted in tribal warfare. Visitors may only enter a small section of the village, while the sacred inner area strictly bans filming, recording, or photography.